Peace, YouTube. What's up? What's going on? It's your boy Randy here. So, I gotta tell you guys about my transformation and how it changed everything for me. Your transformation is gonna change everything for you. For a lot of people watching this video, your transformation may not even be physical. It might not even be your body. It might be your mindset. You cutting people off. You changing your spending habits. You moving to another city. For some of y'all, it's another state. But whatever you do to make a decision to create a better life for yourself, it's going to change everything for you. So I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about my story. I'm going to tell you guys about my story a little bit. So um, senior year of college, I'm going through the motions. I'm just getting through. But in my life, I just felt like things weren't right? My mind was at another place. It was in another place. And what I really figured out was I was around a lot of fucked up energy. I'm just going to keep it plain. I was around people that my intuition was telling me, but I kind of went against my intuition because I'm like, nah, I've been around these people for a while. These are my friends. These are, my family. Nah, why would they be doing this and that? But I would hear a voice in my head telling me about these people that I was around. But I kind of went against it. But I was right. Initially, according to my intuition, I was right in that these people that I was around were fucked up individuals. They didn't have good intentions towards me. And I just felt my energy was down. I felt low. I felt depressed. I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel vibrant. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel how I feel now. I didn't feel high or alive. I felt almost, I don't want to say the word, but I felt like a zombie on the inside. And I was very, very depressed. I suffered some financial losses and I was just kind of just really not sure what the future had for me, And again, when you're around a lot of messed up energy and people that's doing certain things, sabotaging, mistreating you, you got to cut people off. You have to, sometimes what you need to fix in your life isn't necessarily you, but it's your environment. Your transformation could start with your environment, right? But along my journey, I realized, again, I was around the wrong circles, the wrong people, and there were people that I was in relationships with for a long time that were doing things to intentionally mess my life up, lying on me, trying to sabotage my relationships. I done had dudes that I was friends with, sabotage my relationships with women, sabotage my reputation. A lot of people went around and try to control the narrative about me because they couldn't control me, like a narcissist. So I just had to make some big changes within myself. But I realized not growing up with certain things, not growing up with a father, not growing up having certain examples around me, there's a lot of changes that I needed to make in myself. So I started working like hell. I started journaling a lot. And that low energy that I was feeling, that low frequency, the pain that I was going through from my experiences, parental, all the just negative, toxic energy that was around me, it pushed me to the spiritual space. It made me want to clear out my energy because I just felt so fucked up. So I began journaling a lot. What's going on inside my head? I had to clear my head out. And I really started to really tap in. See, I got my candle lit back there. I had to really start tapping into changing my energy, raising my frequency, coming to a place of peace, not being around people that want to argue every 2 seconds and fight. And I felt not only low spiritually, but on just a confidence level. I didn't feel good about who I was in the moment of time because of poor decisions and what I was allowing and not allowing and not setting proper boundaries in my life or my relationships. So it caused me to want to, one, clear my energy out, right, and get spiritual, pray, meditate. I started going for walks in nature. A lot of people that they'll say, man, this stuff is this is some weird hippie stuff, but like it's what I needed. And it's not weird hippie stuff. It's true spirituality to where you can reconnect with yourself, but like by clearing out your energy, meditating, going for walks, lighting your candles, getting your sage, right? So I'm big into that. And I really have to get my mind right and my energy right. And I have to really build myself up, build up my confidence, had to put myself through my own like masculinity training because I didn't get a lot of that when I was younger. So I turned into a madman in terms of self-development and self-mastery. And I made so many different corrections about myself, but the most empowering thing that I got was from the spiritual space because I began to realize, remember the intuition I was just talking about earlier, I realized that everything that I've been feeling and thinking about the people around me was spot on. And I just made the mistake of going against my own intuition. It was a mistake. I didn't realize how strong these abilities and these gifts were. So I didn't trust them because I'm thinking, man, why am I thinking this? Am I going crazy? Am I paranoid? Why am I picking up on the thoughts and the attitudes of this person and seeing that behind the scenes, even though I'm not there with them, they're saying certain things about me. They're talking about me. They're laughing. They're trying to mock me. They're doing this. And I would pick up on this shit from different people. And I'm like, am I paranoid? Why am I having these thoughts and feelings? But it turned out it was true. And so I really started to trust those gifts and trust myself and trust what God was telling me and trust my instincts when I was around certain people and trust the signs and the symbols that God was revealing to me to show me, Randy, this is your path. This is what I need you to do. So my journey began with me building my spiritual self. It was an awakening to myself, an awakening to these abilities, an awakening to the people that I had around me, an awakening that I really need to work and build myself up as a man. And through that, I began the process of also getting my health right. The meditation of going for walks. I grew up as an athlete. I ran track and field. I played high school basketball. So I started to really work out again, get my body right, drinking, doing some fasting, right? Going to the weight room, doing my cardio. And before you know it, I developed my physique and my body into something amazing. Because I have an idea of what I always want my body to look like. I always want that superhero aesthetic, that strong and having all that muscle density and muscle mass, but being lean at the same time. So I started to work on that. And I started to build this desire to want to lift people because I felt like I was able to heal and lift myself. So I'm like, it motivated me to want to lift other people, to help other people. So I doubled down on what I'm great at and what I'm good at and training people and being a health and fitness coach. But I also worked on my fashion. I worked on my appearance, all these things. And it's like I began attracting a completely different set of people around me. My energy changed. The people I attracted changed. Money, I started to attract a lot of economic opportunities because I was adding value in the spaces I was in, creating great relationships. So I say all of that to say this. Your transformation will change your life because the biggest change that will happen is you changing yourself. I completely transformed myself. I went from a place of not feeling good, being down and depressed, suffering from like confidence issues, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation. I was just in a really dark space in my life, but I always was hearing this voice in my head telling me about the people that I had around me. It was like God was talking to me. And he said, you need to remove yourself from these people. You need to be alone. You need to learn how to love yourself. And I really didn't know how to love myself at that time. A lot of people don't know self-love, but I learned that. And through journaling, I realized that a lot of the things that I was experiencing, a lot of the issues that I had came from family, a lot of abuse. And I just started to wake up out of all the abuse and the destruction that a lot of people put me in. And I just had to wake up and find myself and really claim my power. And not allowing other people to control my life and started to control my life, and just cutting people off and living my own life and not letting people have a hold on me, a mental hold, an emotional hold, a social hold, an economic hold. Like I really started to just have really dominion and control over my life, and everything just shifted and changed. And I started to create a lot of healthy relationships with people. I started working as a fitness trainer at the gym. I became really the number one trainer in the whole state. Then I started my own business, and I was really making good money. So, and now we're here. And so, it's so many things I have to tell you guys. It's like, it's crazy. And I'm not trying to brag at all, but I'm just showing you how really paying attention to that inner voice and knowing that something's wrong, that there's issues and things that I have to deal with, because I was at a breaking point, and it felt like either I checked out of here or I had to start fixing the shit that was going on the inside. I just had to start fixing myself, right? And that was one or two options. Either all the pain and the darkness I was in is either I go check out and get up out of here, or I fix myself. I face these different issues. But the thing that blows my mind is that when I realized a lot of the things that I was dealing with weren't caused by me. I wasn't born experiencing a lot of the different things I was experiencing with the anxiety, depression, feelings of like sometimes low self-worth. And I just had to fix all this shit. And I was just so determined. And it was like I was obsessed. I have journals on my table right now that y'all can't see. Journals piled up. Because I started to unlearn the things that pretty much was fucking me up. And I had to relearn myself. Who am I outside of all that abuse? Who am I outside of all these toxic relationships? I really had to find myself, and I had to start operating as the person that God created me to be, that the person that I truly am, and not being the person that my family or my environment tried to force me to be, try to pretty much, just force me to become. I had to learn who I was, and that woke me up. Me finding who I am just made me even more proud of myself. And I'm proud of the changes that I've made. And because of that, I was able to make a better impact on people's lives and add value and increase income and create healthier relationships. But the thing that's going to hit you is on the flip side, when you transform, your relationships that you have with them people in your past not going to be the same, because they're not going to look at you the same. And a lot of them are going to think that you're a chameleon. A lot of people think I'm a chameleon. They think that I spend a period of time being a certain way and now I want to switch into something else. They think that, or they think who I am now is fake. I've just evolved into this greater version of myself because I'm trying to get attention, or they think they think it's a show and I'm doing it to try to garner attention, or I'm trying to make people look at me in a certain way. I'm not even worried about any of them people from my past like that. But why would I do all that? That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy just to try to change how people see you. But that's the thing. I don't care how people see me. I'm concerned with how I see myself. And that's where I needed to get at. I got tired of caring about what people thought about me. I got tired of dealing with the things I was dealing with, suffering from the things I was suffering from, the mental health, the emotional stress, the depression, and being in a dark place and being suicidal and all this anxiety. There was a lot of big issues that I didn't realize were affecting me, because when you grow up in toxic environments, you get conditioned to be a certain way. And after a while, it becomes normal. So your dysfunction becomes normal. But it's like I got to a breaking point where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And I would say it didn't change me. Me working on myself didn't change me. Me looking at my problems and saying, okay, this is what I need to fix. This is what I need to do better. This is who and what I need to cut off from my life. This is these habits that I need to remove, right? This is the things I need to get a healthier lifestyle. I need to meditate. I need to read, get outside, tap in with nature, go different places, get out of my old environments. All the work that I've tirelessly done was for me, to find who I am and to be the best version of myself, and to get to a place where I really begin to love myself, right? I'm not doing that for anybody but myself. It's just to create a better life for myself. Because I know when I become a better man and I become a better person, that version of me will allow me to produce a better life, right? So, yeah, man, it's gonna scare people. A lot of people gonna think that you changed up and you switched up, and who you think you are now? You think you are that? Yeah, you are all that in a bag of chips, right? And I just began realizing I was around a lot of people that was gaslighting and trying to make me feel like I wasn't valuable or that I was important, or people that, you sometimes you get around people that show you that they could really care less about you. And you have to make the intelligent decision to say, okay, once you see that behavior, you just got to move away from them. And you got to learn how to really value yourself and be around people that celebrate you, right? And so tapping into that space and tapping into that energy, it's going to shift your entire world, your whole universe, right? And so I began living a better life. But on the flip side of it, like I said, a lot of people, it's going to cause envy because you're going to also outgrow a lot of people. The people that remember who you really were before and in your down state, where you weren't aware of who you were and your power, and you didn't wake up to this greater version of yourself where you're healthy, not just healthy physically and looking good and being fit, but mentally, spiritually, you're awakening. Now you can pick up on people, things, and situations. You're aware of, most importantly, yourself. That's going to ruffle some feathers. That's going to cause envy because not a lot of people have the guts and the courage to face themselves. Like, a lot of people live life, but they never take time out to face themselves, to fix themselves, and to correct a lot of dysfunctions that they grew up with or that they've been carrying. So when you do this work, you're doing the work that 90% of human beings never do. And after you come out of this, it's not like you go into a basement or a dungeon and you turn into a mad person. It's not like monk mode or anything. It's similar to monk mode, but once you really get out of that and you really find out who you really are, you're gonna have no choice but to live authentically, because all I've been doing is just facing the truth, facing all the lies that I've been told, a lot of lies that I've been telling myself about my life and my situation. So when you just face the truth about who you are, and you correct yourself and you better yourself, you start to love yourself and filter things and people out of your life that no longer serve you, man, you're gonna feel so good, but you're gonna have to let some people go, right? So it's gonna shock you. Your transformation is gonna shock the world, but you're probably gonna be more shocked than anybody else, because once you find out who you really are and your gifts and what you're good at and your talents and just how really beautiful you are, it's gonna blow your mind. You're not gonna blow other people's mind. Like, a lot of people say, a lot of people from my past or the schools that I went to was talking about me and how I done glowed up, and they can see it, right? But the most important person that I want you to be impressed by is yourself, because the whole transformation is really about changing and really finding the truth about who you are and really changing how you see yourself, right? So that's it for the video. Your transformation will shock them and it will change you. It will shock you and change the way you see yourself, and it will change your whole life. And you will live a lot better. You're going to be richer spiritually, mentally, in relationships, definitely financially, and you're just going to produce a better reality for yourself. So let me know what you think about the video. Did you transform already? How did your transformation, change your life? And let me know if you're starting your journey now, because you got to get to it. Love y'all, man. Peace.